21-0 with that 52-24 win. Rapid City Stevens is in the tournament, 67-42 as the 4 seed, defeating Yankton. Aberdeen Central beat Rapid City Central 55-38. Sioux Falls, Washington gets past Sioux Falls Roosevelt in the 3-14 game, 53-42. And Sioux Falls Jefferson beat the Huron Lady Tigers 64-52. So the state tournament next week in Rapid City for Class AA. We'll have Brandon Valley against T Area, followed by Rapid City Stevens and Aberdeen Central. Then in the night session, it'll be O'Gorman versus Mitchell and Sioux Falls Washington against Sioux Falls Jefferson. Here's the SODAC 16 lineup of games for today. This is the 3-14 game. It's Huron against Pierre. The winner of this one moves on to the state tournament and will take on the winner of the O'Gorman versus Sioux Falls Washington game, as that one is at O'Gorman High. Meanwhile, in the same half of the bracket, Brandon Valley against Sioux Falls Jefferson, 7-10. Brandon Valley has won that game 72-58. And Sioux Falls Roosevelt, the 2 seed, has defeated Rapid City Central 67-38. So both Roosevelt and Brandon Valley are in. They'll play each other in the quarterfinals of the state tournament in a couple of weekends. Also, top seed Sioux Falls Lincoln 20-0 hosting Sturgis in a game that'll start when ours does, 6 o'clock. There is a game going on out in Spearfish as the Spartans host T Area. That's 8-9. We'll check in on the scores a little bit later on. Harrisburg has beaten Yankton today, the 4 over the 13. Harrisburg is in 69-59 over those Yankton Bucks that were destined to be a tough out, and it looks like they certainly were in Harrisburg, but the Tigers move on there. Watertown, the 5 seed against Mitchell, the 12 up at the Civic Arena. That game will start at 6 o'clock as well. So by the time our game is done, all of the games should be done or just about over, and our state tournament field will be set. This is actually the 3rd game being played today here in the Huron Arena, as, well, I tell you what, a couple of barn burners this afternoon. Last night was supposed to be region semifinal night of Region 2B here in the arena, and they got weathered out, so they played them today. And earlier, top seed DeSmet beat Dubrook area 53-51, and 2 seed Castlewood beat Wessington Springs 55-53. They had 2 games go right down to the wire in this afternoon's contests in Region 2B. So it is DeSmet and Castlewood, though, the top 2 seeds. Moving on, there's one other region that didn't get to play their games last night, and that is Region 5B, who are supposed to play in Mitchell. And that features the Lyman Raiders. They have not played as of yet. Lyman is the top seed in Region 5B. There is one game, there were games, I think there was other games, maybe from a different region that was playing this afternoon as well. Those games are going to be at the Corn Palace. Lyman plays Corsica Stickney at 5 o'clock. Actually, they're underway, and that game on KPLO, that's another game we'll keep you updated on. Lyman hopes to join Sully Buttes. The Sully Buttes Chargers punched their ticket to the Class B state tournament last night in Region 6B. They defeated Faulkton area. I should say they punched their ticket to the SODAC 16. Sully Buttes beat Faulkton area 55-44. Ipswich won out of the same region, defeating Gettysburg in a tight one, 61-59. And also, the Stanley County Buffaloes are in the SODAC 16 in Class A after their win over Chamberlain last night. So we've got still some region interest in the SODAC 16. Classes A and B will be Tuesday night, but of course AA here tonight. With the Governors taking on the Huron Arena, at the Huron Arena, they're taking on the Huron Tigers. And we'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll get back and come back and talk about keys to success with both head coaches. The veteran Tim Buddenhagen is on deck, but first, it'll be Larry Aker of the Pierre Governors, our Central Dakota Eye Care. Keys to success in 2 minutes as you listen to Pierre Governor postseason basketball on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
This winter, Beck Motor Company is your go-to Chevy dealer for automotive needs. From the tough, rugged Chevy Silverado to a versatile Equinox, we've got the perfect ride for every season. Need service? Our expert team is here to keep you cruising through winter with confidence. Beck Motor Company, your trusted local Chevy dealer, proudly serving you with top-notch vehicles, service, and customer care. Stop by today and drive away with a deal you'll love. www.beck-motors.com, 605-224-5912.
All right, it's the Governor's turn in the Sodak 16 as we come to the Huron Arena talking with Coach Larry Aker for Keys to Success. Last weekend, Coach, a couple of ball games, really great effort in that Sioux Falls Roosevelt game, come up a couple of points short, and then you go back home and face Watertown, final game of the regular season, maybe a little bit tired, but unfortunately Watertown gets off to a hot start, and you're climbing a hill the entire way, just couldn't quite put up that same effort. But any given game, I think you have that capability of pulling an upset like you almost did with Roosevelt, and hopefully that's tonight here in Huron.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, it was still a teachable moment, a learnable lesson for the kids against Watertown. Is you can't let the other team come out and dictate what they want to do, and you have to be the dictators and the aggressors, and you got to be physical, and you got to be able to do, what you want to do defensively. Credit Watertown. That's what they did to us. And, unfortunately we didn't have an answer to it. And, like you said, they shot the ball well early, and that didn't help either. It just kind of fueled their fire. But, that Sioux Falls Roosevelt game, I thought, we played really well. We shot the ball well, took care of the ball. Unfortunately we missed, some free throws that we normally don't. And, that ended up being the difference in the game.
In Roosevelt in particular, whether you were forcing them to shoot a lot of threes, but they really took a lot of threes and they weren't shooting particularly well. Is that, if that's something that you can do against Huron here today, make them shoot that outside shot, and hopefully they're not on. They do like to shoot from out there, but they do have a good inside game too.
Yeah, they do. And, I think the whole thing is, if you let a high school kid catch and shoot, they're pretty dangerous, especially at the AA level. And our biggest thing is, make them, make tough twos, or make them do a dribble pull-up three, or, come off the dribble. Not let them catch and shoot in rhythm, and then you got to rebound. Huron's a very good rebounding team, and they actually get a lot of their points off of second chance opportunities. So, like we've talked all year, that's definitely got to be a key today. And, the other for us is just being physical and aggressive defensively.
played here a month ago or so. Really good ball game, especially through 3 quarters. You kind of went a little quiet in the 4th, and they won it. Of course, they were playing without Blake Elwine at 6'10" that night, and still with the guys they had on the court, it was a difficult night for you to shoot because of the long arms they still had out there, and they only get longer tonight.
Yeah, but again, the last few games, we haven't taken a bad shot. In our book, we're still getting high quality shots. Now they might be, contested shots with their length, and it will, if they're running at you, we actually got the pads out or the sticks out this week, just kind of increased our length that running at shooters, so they're focusing on the rim still, or the back of the rim, and but the kids, they understand. We had a good week of practice. We've been working hard in practice, and we got a couple wrinkles tonight that we can go to defensively if we have to.
Obviously, you got to rebound, like you said. What are your other keys to success tonight?
Rebound, be physical, and just stay disciplined on both ends of the floor. The effort is going to be there. You don't show up to a game like this and not play with effort. So we got to stay disciplined, got to rebound the basketball, and obviously you got to shoot it well too.
All right, Coach, do or die, go get her done.
All right, thanks.
There's Larry Aker, the head coach of the Pierre Governors, with Coach's comments, keys to success. They're sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Let's step aside and hear from them. Then we speak with Tim Buddenhagen, the head coach of the Huron Tigers. Our keys to success continue. This is Governor Basketball.
Regular comprehensive eye exams yearly are the key to finding eye problems before symptoms appear. Hi, this is Dr. Mike Bartlett. I've joined the team at Central Dakota Eye Care, continuing to provide the same high-quality care you've come to expect. I've been seeing patients here in Pierre for 30-plus years, and I look forward to welcoming you to my new location. Call us today at 605-224-6128 to schedule your appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Keys to success on Sodak 16 night from the home head coach of the 3-seed Huron Tigers, Tim Buddenhagen, joins us. And Coach, great season. Congratulations on what you've done so far. We've talked before this season, and coming in off of a victory over Brandon Valley, and this is a team I think that I imagine your goals are almost met. You've got one more to go here to get to the state tournament, but this is a team that maybe has had some destiny on its mind, and it starts tonight here in the postseason.
Yeah, it does. Against a good peer team, so we're not overlooking anybody. We know that it's one game at a time, and you play the next opponent. You prepare for them the best you can, and then you let it rip. So we've had a good year so far. We've won the ESD, one of our goals. Next one is to get to the state tournament.
All right. And with the Pierre team that you saw a month ago or so, that was without Blake Elwine, but still a really good ball game. Davis Chase played great that night. Really kind of, I think it's an opportunity for other people then to see what a great player he is, what a great player some of your other guys, Anderson Porish and company, are. But what is the difference now, I guess, in a nutshell, with how much different of a team are you with Blake out there?
Well, you got a 6'10" ball handler that sees the floor well, and then he can defend on the outside. In order to play at state next year, he's going to have to defend the perimeter. He's worked a ton at that, so that's what we do. So it's a challenge, I think, for guards to shoot over his size and his length. He can give you a step and still be able to challenge your shot. We can switch 1 through 5, so that makes it a little bit more unique now, because we can do a lot of switching with him in the lineup. And then once we get him the ball, like I said, we go, those other guys run, and he tries to find it.
All right. And certainly I think that was a big issue even without Blake Elwine on the floor for the Governors last time, probably for anybody you've played. But what do you see out of Pierre since in the last month that causes concern tonight?
Well, they're shooting the ball well, obviously. So the three, shooting the three concerns us. We're going to try to, we got to try to guard one-on-one in the inside. That'll free up our guards to stay a little bit tighter to the shooters. again, obviously we switch everything, so we should be able to be close enough to the shooters. Got to keep them out of the middle of the lane. They do a really nice job of getting you going one way, crossing over, and get to the middle of the lane. They're really dangerous in there. And then once they throw it down to Terwilliger, if you double, he's good enough to find people. So our biggest concern is we can't double in the inside and make sure we're on shooters.
All right. Any other keys to success for the Tigers?
Just rebound. Rebound, make your layups, make your free throws. You shouldn't win most games.
It's only one postseason game, but at least the first postseason game this year should be an old 3AA rivalry, right?
Yeah, that it should be. And that's the way. That's the way I think the playoffs should be. It should be Aberdeen, Mitchell, Huron, Pierre. Those were great rivalry games. Packed the house at each place. It was a lot of fun. You knew the players. Instead of now, it's a one-game scout. You don't know anybody because you got to get on to the next team, so you really don't develop those relationships because you only see them one time a year.
Absolutely. Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck
Thank
tonight.
you.
That's the old traditionalist, just like the guy on the mic, the old 3AA guy. He's been around a long time, about 38 years or more. That's Tim Buddenhagen, the head coach of the Huron Tigers. Coach's comments, keys to success, are sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Let's go into the starting lineups real quick. Quick reminder, though, the broadcast of this postseason Sodak 16 basketball game is being held under the direction and with authorization from the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Envirotech, and for the Huron Tigers, they will start with a guy who did not play the last time these two teams met a month ago, Blake Elwine, the 6'10" senior guard, and he is going to be playing at South Dakota State University. They're already out of the Summit League tournament. They could use a guy like Blake Elwine next year, no doubt about that. Of course, USD got beat out last night too, so I won't go any further on that. Elwine leads the way at a 6'10" guard. Other guards include Mason Juergens, a talented 6-foot senior. The forwards are Miles Elwine. Well, he's a 6'5" guard, younger brother of Blake, 6'5" and a sophomore. Anderson Porish is a 6'6" junior forward who can make plays, even though he wasn't really called upon to make plays the last time these two teams met as well. And the man in the middle, if not Elwine, would be Davis Chase, a 6'8" junior who put down 27 points in Blake Elwine's absence last time these two teams met here in the Huron Arena. Miles Elwine, Mason Juergens, Blake Elwine, Anderson Porish, Davis Chase, the starting five for the Huron Tigers. Also coming in off the bench will be James Schultz Jr., Nolan Staley, Chase Schuchard, Carter Porish, who started in Elwine's absence last time. Starting lineups for Huron and head coach Tim Buddenhagen, who's assisted by Jay Elwine, Dawson Schmidt, Spencer Staley, and Trey Henderson. The starting lineups for the Pierre Governors, as they've been for much of the season now. Corday Austin, 6'3" senior guard, leads the way. Caden Ahart's a 6'2" junior, is another guard. Jaron Deal, the 6-foot sophomore, is the third guard, along with Lincoln Dilgis in the front court, the 6'4" senior, and Cooper Terwilliger, the 6'6" junior, in the post for the Pierre Governors. Austin, Ahart, Deal, Dilgis, Terwilliger, the starting five. Logan Whitty, the 5'11" junior. Maybe Sincere Wilson, the 5'11" senior, get to come in off the bench as well. Head coach for the 6-14 Governors, Larry Aker, assisted by Skip Kurth, Craig Ullman, and Kelly Brandt. Coach Kurth, maybe the only guy who has been around longer than Tim Buddenhagen associated with this basketball game. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Envirotech. We're back in 2 minutes with more Governor basketball.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Back at the Huron Arena, as we've given you the starting lineups, the other starting lineup is the naming of tonight's game officials. Our game officials are licensed by and assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate postseason high school basketball. And we thank them for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports, specifically high school hoops. Tonight's game officials are Jerry Beers, Levi Pearson, and Aaron Entringer. Game officials for this SODAC 16 contest: Jerry Beers, Levi Pearson, Aaron Entringer. Thanks, guys, for being our law on the court. They're brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. Quick moment for station identification. You're listening to Governor Postseason Basketball.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI, Pierre. Put the phone down. Focus on driving.
And with that law on the court, brought to you by the Attorney General's Office, let's hear from them and an important message, and we'll be back for the Comtech opening tip in 1 minute with a state tournament berth on the line. This is the Governors in the SODAC 16 on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security, and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Comtech sponsors our opening tip as the Governors and the Tigers, just like old times, about ready to tip this one off. Another team that is into the state tournament now, when they started at 4 o'clock, was T Area. They went out to Spearfish, got a 10-point win over the Spartans, 66-56. So Brandon Valley, Harrisburg, Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, and T Area are in. And add to that O'Gorman, they finished off Sioux Falls, Washington, 74-48. So just a few games to go, including this one, Pierre and Huron. And the Comtech opening tip controlled by Blake Elwine and the Huron Tigers. They'll come far court to near, and they'll wear the home whites tonight with the orange numbers, black trim. The Governors have their road blacks, which they did at Sioux Falls, Roosevelt a week ago yesterday when they had that great road effort. But a 62-60 loss to the number 2 power-rated team. Here's Blake Elwine with Lincoln Dilgis on him. Elwine puts it on the floor, pulls up and hits the 17-footer from near the left baseline to our right. And the Tigers will strike first. And Elwine has them up 2-0. Governors go near court to far here from in the first half. Again with the road black. Hand off from Caden Aharts to Jaron Deal. He's got Mason Juergens on him. Now Corday Austin. Elwine guarding him. To Terwilliger, back to Jaron Deal. Governor's going to have a hard time shooting threes. Caden Aharts. Oh, he banks one in from the left wing. And if you go back to that Roosevelt game, Jaron Deal had a big night shooting. Caden Ahart's had a big second half shooting threes. And Larry Aker, after the game, head coach said, well, Ahart's seems to get better the farther out he is from the basket. Here's Dilgis with a foul on Elwine. He challenges down in the left block. And we'll go to the free throw line. Dilgis going to have a tall task here in guarding a D1 basketball recruit. And he'll try to stay straight up as he can, but he is whistled this time. Elwine with a free throw. First one is good. Again, Blake did not play when these two teams played in the regular season. We'll see if the Governors can put up any highlight plays tonight and be right on the money. When you're right on the money, it's Rounds Financial Services in Pierre you ought to work with, where your money works for you. Rounds Financial Services, Osaic Wealth member, SIPC, sponsoring Rounds Financial Services highlight plays right on the money tonight. 4-3 as Elwine hit the second free throw. Tigers have that lead back. Just underway, a minute and a half in. Dill just has it right side. He'll find Terwilliger. It'll be Terwilliger against Elwine inside or Davis Chase. There's some switching off going on. Chase ranged up top. Now with 8 on the shot clock, Terwilliger backing in against Anderson Porish. He'll put one up. I think he got hammered, but the shot up and off the mark. Corday Austin battling. He'll be the last one to touch. Well, it looked like there was a little non-straight up contact there on Terwilliger, and that altered the shot. As it'll be 4-3 still. Huron with the lead and the basketball. Cubs will have to make sure they don't get frustrated tonight, obviously, just like they did against Roosevelt last week. The name of the game tonight is stay as tight as you can, as close as you can with these guys, and give yourselves a chance in the fourth quarter, and then see where the chips may fall. To the right wing, and Miles Elwine, the 6'5 sophomore, drives but pulls up. Now outside to Porish, here down to the baseline. Davis Chase, 10-footer, is up, in and out, no good, and Dilgis will rebound. Chase, who had a huge game against the Governors in the regular season meeting, scored 27 points. Couldn't help but hand him a player of the game t-shirt on that particular night. Here's Deal with it. He'll find a spot. Ooh, the shot gets blocked by Chase. He's got long arms too, the 6'8. The 6'8 defender in that case, able to defend out top. And that's the kind of night that it can be and could be very well for the Governors, shooting the basketball. And now Dilgis trying to defend again against Blake Elwine. Got two hands on the defender. This is a foul, and it's his second personal. Dilgis going to have to be careful, and Larry Akert kind of pleading his case. Now he's pointing down to the other end, and the official's still in conversation. The inbound comes to Chase down low, working over the top of Terwilliger, and that one in and off the back of the rim. No good. Terwilliger down with a rebound. Chase 0 for 2, and we've got a whistle and a foul as Chase gets him back with a little bit of a reach. The first team foul, 3 minutes in, goes to the Tigers here. And Davis Chase with his first personal. Inbound coming. Govs will go the length of the floor. There is pressure about 2/3 of the way up to the center line. The Tigers have a couple of men standing. Governors on a couple of passes will get it across the time stripe, though. Corday Austin left side to Deal. Blake Elwine, the defender. He's going to be apparently on the top of the key defending much of the evening. Here's Dilgis, left to right. Pass tipped. Controlled by Aharts. Now he'll find Terwilliger at the high post. Governors inside of 10 to shoot again. Terwilliger into the lane. Jump stop, nowhere to go. He finds Dilgis. The shot on the leaner is short. Dilgis looks for a foul, doesn't get it. Meanwhile, transition as good as Elwine will feed to Anderson Porish running the court. And the Tigers have a 6-3 lead. 4:10 left to play here, quarter number 1. A risky pass. Austin has it on the over pursuit by Porish. He'll fire at 3 and hit. Corday Austin drains a 3 to tie it up at 6. That after Caden Aharts hit one earlier. Aharts from the left wing banked his in. Meanwhile, Corday Austin hit one that hit off the front of the rim and then went up. Might have hit the backboard, came on through, and meanwhile, Lincoln Dilgis just ended up on the floor, but he's called for the foul. I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened. I was watching the ball that was out near half court. Dilgis is one of these guys. He's really going to be he does try to get sneaky this defending. Here's an easy pass inside. Big guy to big guy. It's Elwine feeding Chase, and he'll put it up and in with a left side bunny. But Lincoln Dilgis out of the game now with 3 personal fouls, and that all comes in the first 4.5 minutes of play. Still in the first period. Tigers up 8-6. Darren Deal. Ball handling, top of the key, more over pursuit. Aharts gets another crack, and he hits another 3. Caden Aharts, back-to-back triples, and the Governors are up 9-8. This is how the Governors can beat the Huron Tigers. And if they're going to beat the Tigers tonight, they have to hit threes, and they have to do them uncontestedly. If Huron contests and they get a hand in your face, your chances of making a 3-ball are very much diminished. They get it back into Chase here. Actually, that's Carter Porish in the game. His shot comes in and out, but it's Blake Elwine coming in with the tip in. 3rd rebound for Blake. The Tigers take the lead back. Now a pass is contested. And up ahead, foul called here, and that's just a good job by the Governors to defend and deny a Mason Juergens layup. Foul here goes to Logan Whitty. It was Whitty who comes in place of Lincoln Dilgis. I believe that was Whitty. Check that scoreboard across the way. And yes, it was Logan Whitty, 5'11 junior. He's going to have to play some expanded minutes here, especially in the first half. So it's Mason Juergens, another senior leader, who is at the free throw line. First to 2 is up and in. Anderson Porish will check out. Davis Chase, who was out briefly, comes back in. Carter Porish again came in a little bit ago. He's a 6'5 freshman. Second one for the left-hander, Juergens. And that one swishes home. 2 for 2 for Mason. 4 for 4 for Huron. Juergens will check out. And James Schultz Jr., a 5'10 junior, checks in. 12-9, Huron. Good ball game so far. As the Governors will ease their way up to the time stripe. They'll get it across with 1.5 seconds left and a 10-second countdown. First pass from Deal to Aharts. Now we've got a foul away from the basketball. This might be on Carter Porish with a little 2-hand push. On Terwilliger is a Chase. 4-0 or 5-0. It's on Carter Porish. His first instead of Davis Chase's second. 2:20 to go. Here comes Aharts with a kick out. Whitty for 3, but he misfires. That one misses everything. Elwine catches it on the fly. Up ahead and a layup made. Blake Elwine to little brother Miles Elwine. Obviously, transition is going to be a big deal if the Governors are missing shots and Huron's pulling those rebounds down. Tigers have scored 6 unanswered, and they lead now 14-9. Governors have scored 3 3-pointers, but that's all they've got so far. On the scoreboard, here is Deal against Miles Elwine. Now they swing it around from the corner back out. Here's Aharts with a pull-up jumper from the free throw line. That went off the glass, but it will not fall. Elwine with another rebound, his 5th already. Huron has 5 as a team, and Blake's got them all. Right side up top to our left. Ahart's challenging, but Elwine will maintain control. Full-length court here in the Huron Arena. Nope, there's a foul as Aharts will try to reach in and knock a ball free. He didn't make that one a very difficult call. It looked like he wrapped one arm around and then reached in and got the wrist on the other one, but this is the 5th team foul for the Governors in this first period, and that will send Blake Elwine to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 1:22 to play here in the first quarter. First one is down. Elwine's 7th point already, a 15-9 lead for Huron, looking for one more. And this one is up. Blake Elwine comes up ready to shoot, but he hesitates. I imagine he induces a lot of lane violations. But it looked like players from both teams got into the lane a little early before that second one there. Quick sub in for the Tigers. Miles Elwine has checked out. I believe it's Anderson Porish who just came back in. 16-9. Huron up by 7. First period, Governors trying to find a way to get an open look or two or more. Terwilliger had it top of the key. Ahart's dangerous pass, but he gets it to Austin down in the left corner. Back out, left side, up top. Deal tries to step back, no room to shoot. 5 to shoot now. Ahart has to go long, and he hits it. Right on the money for Caden Aharts, and a fourth 3-ball by the Governors here in the first period, 16-12. Right on the money highlight shot, sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Dipsy-do attempt by Schultz on the drive, but he misses, and Terwilliger will catch this one on the fly, as that one does not draw iron. 25 seconds left, first period. The shot clock is off. The Governors have chewed a lot of time on a number of possessions, and that has everything to do with the way the Huron Tigers play defense. It's hard to get open looks against these guys. Austin fakes. Now they get it out, and it's Ahart's feeding Jaron Deal, who hits a triple. Another 3-ball for the Governors. They're 5th in the quarter. Elwine, offensive foul. As he leaned in against Aharts, he pulled up and he hit a jumper with his feet on the arc top of the key. Wave it off. It's an offensive foul on Blake Elwine, and that is how our first quarter is going to come to an end as it happens right at the buzzer. The Governors are hitting threes. Can they keep it going? Your Gales Gas Service scoreboard has Huron up by 1, 16-15. Scoreboard from Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We pause for 1 minute. Quarter number 2 and the Sodak 16 coming back. This is Governor postseason basketball.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step for better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Got William and Cortana back in studio running the show. Audio is the Governors with the first possession, and they work it inside, down low, right side to Cooper Terwilliger, who will muscle one up and in. And the Governors have the lead with the first shot down to the second period, 16-15. Let's make that 17-16 to be exact. Still the 1-point lead. The Governors on an 8-0 run with back-to-back threes to close out the quarter. Here's Blake Elwine feeding Mason Juergens, and he will calmly plant a 3. Governors will spend a lot of time on Blake Elwine, obviously, but there's other playmakers on this team, and Mason Juergens, who is certainly a playmaker on the football field, puts his first points down from the field. He's got 5, and the Tigers have the lead back at 19-17. Here's a tip pass, but Austin comes to get it right wing. 10 to shoot. Deal will fire. That one off the front of the rim. That one from the top of the key. Elwine brings down the miss. Blake leads the break and will feed to Chase underneath, and Chase with a pretty right to left reverse will get the shot to fall. 5 in a row for the Tigers, and we get there's a timeout. It's a late call, but Huron, Tim Buddenhagen asked for one. Larry Aker was wondering what was going on, but it was just a delayed whistle. It's a timeout to the Tigers. Timeouts in our broadcast are brought to you by the folks at Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. He was asking for it after that made shot. Let's get a quick 30 in here. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason basketball.
Futures aren't made by accident. They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Second period and a bad pass. Miscommunication in the backcourt. It's a takeaway for the Tigers. Blake Elwine gets it away, gets it back from Anderson Porish, and he will score an easy 2 in transition. Logan Whitty wasn't looking for a Jaron Deal pass as the Governors tried to work it across the timeline against the full court press. 23-17. Aharts tries to cut that in half, and he does. Fed by Corday Austin. Caden Aharts is 3 for 3 from long range. The Governors hit their 6th 3 of the game, and that's how they're keeping it close, 23-20. 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Elwine from the right side gets a screen. He'll pull up from the right elbow. He can hit the mid-range shots too. And he's 4 for 4 on the floor, 4 for 4 from the line as well. 25-20, Tigers back up by a handful. As Aharts will hand off the Deal. Trip to the state tournament on the line. Of course, Huron probably hoping for a little bit of revenge here. Here's a miss from Austin. Whitty in the middle of the lane gets a second chance off of an offensive rebound. That's no good. Then the rebound tipped out to Deal. He'll feed out. Corday Austin drives strong and draws the foul. Shot no good. Corday hits the deck under the basket. But he will pick himself up off the floor. No free throws, apparently. This foul is on the floor. Austin takes the inbound on the comeback. Now it's Deal. Fakes a 3, but Chase is in his face. Kick out. Oh, he just traveled with it. This is Aharts. It was a skip pass to the right side. Huron bench was all over that. Just a little bit of happy feet for Caden Aharts. Governors with 2 turnovers in recent events. Their first 2 of the night. 5:15 to go. Here in the second period. Huron has 1 turnover, but it was Blake Elwine's offensive foul at the very end of the first period. Which the Governors never really got a possession after that anyway. Here's Miles Elwine, the sophomore. Back up to Davis Chase, who launches a 3. That's no good. It's Austin up high for a Governor rebound. And back come the Governors heading the other direction. Ahart's out on the left wing, very close to the sideline, but he'll bring it back top of the key. Here's setting things up, trying to stay within this 5-point margin, if not cut it down. Boy, a Deal pass tipped right back to him. And then it is Juergens who tipped the pass. He anticipated that really well. Comes back, but gets a 2-hand hand check on Deal. Mason Juergens will pick up his first team foul for Huron in the second quarter. Govs inbound with a fresh shot clock. Trailing by 5 at 25-20. Aharts, a little bit of a drive, but gives back to Austin. Now to the high post, Terwilliger. Here's Aharts again, around the top. Deal on the left side. He'll try to get it into Terwilliger, but he's pushed from behind by Davis Chase. Chase's second personal. Governor fans are here. The student body, pretty well populated. Huron right across the way. They put the student body on both sides right at midcourt. You've got the Huron band on the far end to our left, who did a heck of a job in pregame, I might say. And the student body high school in midcourt, and then the student body middle school on the near end. Deal launches a 3, but comes up well short. That might have been blocked. Who knows? Tigers back with it. Now a runner short and an easy catch for Terwilliger, but Carter Porish right behind him has a second personal foul. So the Governors were tentative on a shot. So were the Tigers on a baseline runner. And it'll be Governor basketball. The inbound comes out halfway through our second period. Sincere Wilson, the senior, 5'11", is on for the first time. As it is Aharts who catches a break for Pierre. Nope, that's Aharts handling. It's Logan Whitty who came out. Now Terwilliger with a good move over Carter Porish, but is a little strong off the glass. Anderson Porish down with the rebound, still 25-20. Juergens is open for three, too strong this time. Carter Porish, offensive rebound. He'll feed to older brother Anderson and put it up and in. That's a good play for Carter Porish, who for the Tigers was right on the money with a bit of a highlight play. And Huron leads by a touchdown, 27-20. Mentioned earlier, I'm sure they want some revenge. Governors went to the Dome, beating Huron in the semifinals. Of course, the Governors won another championship. Huron's trying to get to their own state tournament on the basketball court. There was a blocked shot of Terwilliger. Porish misses on the other end, the near side, and then it's tipped up and in. It's Carter Porish who gets the tip after a couple of misses by Anderson Porish. And the Governors have to take a timeout as Huron's on a bit of a run now, and they're up to a 9-point lead. Biggest of the night so far, 2:54 to play. 29-20. Actually, it was 16-7 at one point. Now it's 29-20. This is a 30-second Coke break called by the Governors, and we're back in 30 with more Pierre Governor postseason basketball.
That's it. The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Need a boost?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
It's a couple of turnovers. Huron with some transition baskets as well off of Governor misses. And the Tigers have opened up a little bit of a lead right now, 29-20, as we say. 2:40 to play off of the Coca-Cola timeout. First one used by the Govs. Here's Terwilliger on the top of the key. Finds Jaron Deal left side. He'll get around a defender and put it up and in. Left side layup good for Jaron Deal, who has a quick first step, and he got around Miles Elwine this time. The Governors end a mini run by the Tigers, and they are back on the board with just their second 2-point field goal of the evening, 29-22. Here's Miles Elwine into Carter Porish. He'll step back out. Terwilliger on him. He'll find Blake Elwine. 3-ball, top of the key, no good. There's James Schultz Jr., though, in the right place at the right time, and he'll put it up and in. Bunny range, left side. Second chance basket there for the Tigers, who lead by 9 again, 31-22. We're under 2 minutes left in the first half. 1:45 counting down. Quick hands here for Miles Elwine. That's a steal. Miles up against two Governors. Too strong for the layup, but it's kept alive by Porish, and it's Carter who will be fouled by Cooper Terwilliger. The last 5 rebounds on my stat sheet pulled down by the Huron Tigers have all been offensive. And this time, chances for second chance points will come from the free throw line for the big freshman, Carter Porish, who ran the floor pretty well in transition a moment ago. His first free throw here is good. Huron 7 out of 7 as a team. And they have their first 10-point lead now, 32-22. Anderson Porish will check in if Carter makes this one. He does. And Anderson will. 4 for Carter Porish, 33-22 as Sincere Wilson will check back out. Logan Whitty in. And the Governors, again, playing without Lincoln Dilgis, who's on the bench in early foul trouble. He picked up 3 fouls in about 3 minutes and 45 seconds of playing time in the first period. Most of that drawing the assignment of trying to defend Blake Elwine. Here's Corday Austin, as he works. Step back 2, a good-looking shot, but a little bit too strong. Shooting that over Chase Shukart. Porish with the rebound. Tigers underneath the basket. They get an extra pass, and Miles Elwine wants 3. No good. Austin tips, but it's controlled by Shukart underneath. Another offensive board here for the Tigers. Under a minute now, Schultz will reset. Back up to the top of the key. Anderson Porish, backdoor. Blake Elwine, the 2-hand slam. Well, they had that one set up all the way. Blake Elwine with 14 points now in the first half. They right on the money highlight dunk for the Tigers to up their lead to 13 now. This was a 1-point game at the end of the first quarter. Here's Terwilliger down to the right baseline. Strong effort. Shot blocked. Deal gets his own rebound, though, and then he is fouled from there. Jaron made a nice play to put a shot home on a turnaround jump hook after the foul, but the foul on the floor. And we'll see who they put this one on. Blake Elwine is checking out, and it is his second personal. Probably won't see Blake for the last 24 seconds of this first half. 35-22. The Governors need a basket. Ahart's left side up top. Back to Deal. Shot clock off. 15 ticks to go. Deal checking with Coach Akers. Barking signals in a very loud arena. Deal ranges right, comes back to the left against Schultz. He stops, fires from the left elbow. Up, no good. Terwilliger has it. 2 seconds left. Left-handed reverse is no good. Oh, Cooper Terwilliger almost made a great play, but he couldn't get the shot to fall. And the Governors will go to the halftime break, trailing by a baker's dozen. It's 35-22, the score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Huron with a 19-7 advantage in that second stanza, and they lead by 13. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Halftime is next, and halftime is sponsored by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial of Pierre. We're back in 3 minutes as you listen to Pierre Governor postseason basketball here on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Start feeling better? Atlas Chiropractic in Winter now offers hyperbaric oxygen therapy. This state-of-the-art treatment increases tissue oxygen levels by over 1,200%, helping boost the body's natural healing processes by more than 70%. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy can help with sports injuries, nerve and brain injuries, including concussions, vascular and blood vessel issues, fibromyalgia, and other inflammatory conditions. This treatment is FDA approved and research proven. Visit Atlas Chiropractic in Winter, home to one of the few heart chambers in the state of South Dakota. Call today and start maximizing your healing.
The future you says thanks.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks for checking your hay equipment early this year. Grab the parts you need now from Grossenberg Implement, so when planting wraps up, you can switch from the planter to baler and keep rolling. Don't lose time waiting on parts during hay season. Visit grossenberg.com or any of their 9 locations today. Grossenberg Implement. Keep the season moving.
Thank you.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Pests don't wait, and neither should you. At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats in the attic to rodents in the walls, ants in the kitchen, termites underground, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses. And quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
What if the market shifts? What if the margins on your farm keep getting tighter? Simplot Grower Solutions is here to help. Simplot Crop Advisors know South Dakota corn, soybean, wheat, and other crops like you do because they live and work here. So, even if the market shifts or the margins keep getting tighter, you'll have the insight and support to keep moving forward. Simplot Grower Solutions.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olson. Plenty of time. 3 seconds. Gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome to Bowie Foods at Al's Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm R.F. Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota-owned, family-owned, Bowie Foods.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
At Iverson Auto, our legacy is your trust. Whether you're in Mitchell or in Huron, we embody the values that have defined us for generations. We have been your partner on the road since 1948.
We bring decades of expertise to ensure your journey begins with confidence. Our goal is to turn your visit into a memorable experience, leaving you with a smile and peace of mind.
Iverson Auto of Mitchell and Huron are here to make your car buying experience smooth and enjoyable every step of the way.
Visit us online at iversonauto.com.
To Blake Elwine. Elwine brought it down to the floor and then easily laid it up and in. He scores his 15th and 16th points. And the biggest lead of the night so far for the Tigers is at 15 points here. Number 3 against number 14. The Governors, who were the 15 seed last year, lost at Brandon Valley, who ended up going on and winning the state AA tournament. Governors are coming towards us now. Here's Caden Ahart's nice spin move, shooting over the top of Juergens. Loose ball on the floor, and then we'll have a foul as Cooper Terwilliger wins the hustle game off of the Ahart's miss. He'll get an offensive rebound, and Mason Juergens commits the foul on Cooper Terwilliger, who was lying on the floor. Still in the first minute, Lincoln Dilgis, who came out of the game in the first period after 3 quick fouls, trying to defend Blake Elwine, is back in, and he is backing off, and Jaron Deal throws him a one-handed pass off the dribble, and that's out of the reach of Dilgis, and that's out of bounds. Governor's first possession will end in a turnover, even though they did get a shot up. That was a second chance after a Terwilliger offensive rebound, but Huron with it. Governors are going to have to defend like crazy here in the second half. Never count them out, especially if they can hit threes like they had been. Here's another lob underneath, but the pass too tall from Juergens. Elwine couldn't get it. It bounced off the backboard, but it's picked up underneath by Davis Chase, who drives, shoots, and scores, and is fouled. And Cooper Terwilliger will pick up his second personal. Davis Chase for a chance at a three-point play. Has it. First field goal of the night. Or free throw, rather. And Chase with his 5th point. 40-22. And here's a foul on Elwine. Trying to force Corday Austin to the sideline to our left. Blake Elwine picks up his 3rd personal. That might be a little early for 3 fouls as far as Tim Buddenhagen's concerned. Cubs were looking to set up maybe an alley-oop to Corday Austin, but there's just too much height defensively for the Huron Tigers. Although I'd submit maybe Corday can still jump higher than everybody on this court, even though he's 7 inches shorter than the tallest guy on the floor. Here's Terwilliger over Chase. Whistle, foul, basket will count for Terwilliger, and a chance at a three-point play. Chase will pick up the foul. That's his third now, so the two biggest Huron Tigers will both have 3 fouls here with 6:25 to go in the third period. Terwilliger, ever the strongest guy on the court. I think that's usually the case. It's just a matter of whether he has the touch to hit him off the glass. He does here, and he's right on the money with that three-point play, a right-on-the-money highlight play for Cooper Terwilliger, which in our broadcast are sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. 40-25. Governors have still a big hill to climb here early in the second half. Tigers leading by 15. Still has kind of the feel of the old District 3 AA. Here's Elwine driving around the corner, down to the baseline. He gets around a defender, and he'll lay it up and in. That one from straight away, but the touch was good, even if after the ball bounced off the rim once or twice. It falls on through. Elwine hasn't missed a shot tonight. 42-25. Take that back. He did miss a three-pointer. Here comes Terwilliger in the lane. Oh, he should have kept going, but he comes back to his right. Misses short, and going after the rebound is Jaron Deal, who will take a push. And again, the Governors continue hustling. And Anderson Porish a step behind Jaron Deal. And you got an official looking, actually they're asking for a towel from the Pierre bench on the step or on the spot where Deal had slid out on the right wing to our left. 5:33 to play, third quarter. Huron with a big second period. Opened up a 13-point halftime lead. And they lead by 17 right now. Again, just 2.5 minutes in to this one. And what's going on now? Oh, we have a Pierre fan from the student body who's going to be asked to leave. I don't know why. And the irony of it is the guy in charge here is a former Pierre Governor teacher and coach in Scott DeBoer. And Scotty's down there behind the scorer's table. The Pierre student body is behind the scorer's table. And again, they preach sportsmanship before every game. And you still have some discussion going on there. You'd hate to dwell on this. In fact, you've got a peer representative telling those guys to settle down too. Hopefully they will. Coach Aker talks about, and Kirk Bebout last night talked about representing the community well, and now Brian Mosier has to get in the mix down there as well. Getting cooler heads to prevail. Let's move on to the ball game. The Governors with a possession. 15 on the shot clock, 5:13 counting down. We're in the third quarter. Austin in the half circle. Then tries to set a screen for Jaron Deal. He'll stop his dribble. 5 on the shot clock. Makes a move around Juergens. Tries to get a leaner. It will not go. Porish will rebound for the Tigers. Here's a 3 right side, but no good for Miles Elwine. And Lincoln Dill just has the rebound. Something I've gotten quite vocal about at times is sportsmanship on both the Pierce side and opponent sides this season. I hope we don't have to do more of that. Here's Elwine seeing a pass coming out top, and Caden Aharts will commit a foul to negate a breakaway dunk for Blake Elwine. He'll get the steal. That's turnover number 5 for the Governors. Well, 6. I think they had him on the official stats with 4 in the first half. Aharts with a good foul this time. That is his second in the game, but Huron gets a possession, leading 42-25. The inbound comes to Carter Porish, the freshman on the bench. As Davis Chase is out with 3 fouls, Blake Elwine still in with 3 dings against him. Clock at 4:20. We're in the third. Tigers being comfortable, playing catch around the perimeter. Now Porish to the high post in front of the free throw line. Brings it back out. Anderson Porish feeds to Elwine. Out to Carter Porish. He's short for three from the left wing. Dilgis with the rebound. Huron not shooting threes very well, but they've certainly been very productive from two-point range. Here's Deal looking for a foul. They got bounced off on the drive. Comes up short. Carter Porish, coast to coast, misses. Blake Elwine tips, no good. He gets it back and will score another. And Larry Aker asking for a timeout here. He might still be asking for a foul on the other end of the floor as well. 44-25. Tigers continue to grow the lead ever so gradually. We've got 3:37 to play in the third period. 60-second timeout, and we're back with more after this Coca-Cola break in the action. Pierre Governor postseason basketball.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
This is what matters.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Jeep vehicles and a large selection of quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. View their entire inventory at WegnerAuto.com. Experience the Wegner Auto difference for yourself by letting them help you with your next set of wheels. Wegner Auto Company in Pierre.
Back out of the Governor timeout, a 60-second break, and the Governors try to get it inbounds. Ahart's to Deal, but Miles Elwine challenged the inbound pass. Deal tipped it away, and he tried to run it down. And in trying to save it, he was more concerned about not landing on a guy seated as a photographer on the other end of the court. The Governors are going to turn the basketball over, but they'll take one back. Austin tips the inbound here. Governors up the near court. As they'll try to get set up in the offense. Huron got back well on defense this time. Under 3.5 to go. We're in the third. Brian Oakland play-by-play. Glad to have you aboard. We've got an offensive foul, a moving screen away from the basketball, and according to his reaction, this one goes on Jaron Deal. Deal was asking for a foul on a nice drive a little bit ago, but didn't get that. But then he gets something a little bit softer this time. Officials are doing a great job tonight, though, by the way. I'm not going to discount that one bit. 3:10 to play. Third period, Tigers have it back, but that is turnover number 4 for the Governors here in the second half. First 5 minutes, Elwine steps up to the arc, tries it long too, but this time no good. And Caden Aharts will catch the miss. First miss inside the arc for Blake Elwine. Only his second miss all night long, and we've got a foul on the floor. And Caden Aharts is going to be given shots. James Schultz, who checked in at some point along the way, guilty of the foul on the floor. Well, free throws are coming because, apparently Aharts was in the act of shooting. That's team foul number 4 for the Tigers. But Aharts misses a free throw. Governors had a 3-point play earlier in this third period, and that's from Cooper Terwilliger. That's all the Governors have in the third quarter. On the board, Aharts' second free throw, also no good. Carter Porish will rebound. They've been outscored 9-3 so far here in the first 5 minutes and change in the quarter. Blake Elwine checked out during the free throws. Miles Elwine has it now. It's Carter Porish back in with Anderson Porish. Actually, Chase Schuchart has checked in. Schuchart, a 6'4 junior guard. Picked up by Porish. Across the way, Schultz to Schuchart. Now they'll swing it back around. 3 to shoot. Porish fires an air ball, and that'll be a shot clock violation on the Tigers. That's something you don't see very often. Anderson Porish. Remember last year when Blake Shelton, country music. That's Gwen Stefani's husband, for those of you who regularly listen to River 92.7, by the way. Blake Elwine lost last season to a knee injury, and Anderson Porish was the guy that they really relied on. Remember him having a big game against the Govs. Here's a work inside, and the dirty work done by Cooper Terwilliger, who will kiss one off the glass and score the deuce. 44-27 now. Minute 45 to play. Third period. Got plenty of time, but the Govs obviously need defensive stops, and of course they'll have to continue scoring somehow, some way. Here's Schultz to the right wing. Carter Porish. Coach Bud right behind him. Up to Anderson Porish now. Miles Elwine shoots with 6 on the shot clock. He didn't have a handle on it, and there's a foul on the rebound. That ball banged off the backboard. I didn't know if it hit the rim at all. And the shot clock did reset, but Anderson Porish is subsequently fouled on the floor by Lincoln Dilgis, who was going to pick up his 4th of the game. And so he'll have to check out here, as Logan Whitty, the 5'11 junior, is in for the Governors. This is the first sub in for the Govs in the second half. 1:22 on the inbound to go. They get it up to Schuchart, now to Miles Elwine. Schuchart left wing. Toward the baseline, left side. Porish got Austin off of him with a nice little shoulder rub, and will score the basket. And Tim Buddenhagen asks for and receives a timeout. Full timeout here with $1:09 to play third period. It's 46-27. Tigers by 19. Late third quarter. We're back in 1 minute after this Coke break. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason basketball.
This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
7, we're late in the third quarter, coming down to the 1 minute mark. Tigers switched up to a 2-2-1 full court press. The Govs break that. Here's a 3 for Aharts, who actually comes up short, but he follows his shot, and the Governors have a second chance. That's the first miss from long range tonight in 4 tries for Caden Aharts. He hit 3, all of which came in the first half. Here's Aharts. The Governors still only have 5 on the scoreboard as Corday Austin drives. Schuchart altered the shot. Porish might have been the one to get the block. Here's a 3-pointer, though, and Austin will rebound off of the miss from Schuchart. Governors can play for a last shot. 20 seconds to go. Corday Austin's been held to just 2 3-pointers, both in the first quarter tonight. He was held in check the first time these two teams played in this season, also in this arena. And we'll have a foul on Schuchart, as it was Chase trying to fight through a screen on a handoff from Logan Whitty to Corday Austin. The Governors are going to get a scoring opportunity from the free throw line here instead of having to try to hit a buzzer beater. 6.8 seconds left. Schuchart, first personal. Corday Austin to the stripe. Eyes the mark on the first one. That one real rim in and out, no good. Governors have been a great free throw shooting team of late, but just 1 out of 4 so far tonight, and all of their attempts have come here in the third period. Second one for Corday, swishes through. He's got his 7th point. The lead is 18. Porish at court, feeds underneath. Shukart is good with the layup, and the Governors yield a last-second basket to close out the third period. Chase Shukart's first bucket of the night, and the Tigers will lead by 20 going to the fourth quarter on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
abt.bank today.
Welcome back to the Huron Arena. The third period went in Huron's favor to the tune of 13-6. Governors have the first possession to start our fourth quarter of play. Brian Oakland play-by-play. Caleb Brozick on camera for live ticket. Cortana Mancuso, William Wilson in studio running the audio production. Governors need a big fourth quarter if they want to go to the state tournament. Obviously, we're a big underdog coming in anyway against the third-seeded Huron Tigers. Tigers 16-4, Governors 6-14. Terwilliger fights hard against Carter Porish, who starts the fourth quarter for the Tigers. Cooper will go to the free throw line as Carter Porish's third foul will be put on the board. Tigers don't have anybody with more than three, but they do have Blake Elwine and Davis Chase, both with 3 fouls. So all the big guys picking up fouls from time to time here. Davis Chase is in there to start the fourth quarter as well, as is Blake Elwine, who got to rest the last 3 minutes or so of the third period. 48-28, first free throw misses, second free throw does not. Cooper Terwilliger has 8 points. Hayden Aharts leads the Govs with 9. Terwilliger next in line with 8. Aharts went scoreless in the third period, though. In fact, Cooper Terwilliger had 5 of the 6 points for Pierre in that third period. 19-point ball game. James Schultz in there for the Tigers, leading the break. Passes off to Elwine. Elwine up to Mason Juergens, and the Tigers are already looking like they're going to choose some time off of the clock on each possession, or at least they are in their first one. Here's Juergens open for 3, and he drains it. Inside to Porish, back outside to Mason Juergens, and he hits his second 3 of the night. 51-29. Biggest lead for Huron in the ball game. Ahart's on the left corner, back up, round the left elbow, but the shot too strong, and Chase will catch it. And we will have a whistle. And what happened here? Well, Huron has a turnover perhaps in the backcourt. As I was looking on the stat sheet, it's traveling. Thank you, camera guy. Maybe a miscommunication in the backcourt for the Tigers. That's only their 4th turnover of the night. Governors again work it inside. They got it to Terwilliger, low block. Turnaround shot and soft touch. This time Cooper gets the roll. And we're back to a 20-point ball game, 51-31. Schultz to set things up. 6:15 to play, fourth quarter. Porish, backdoor cut. Elwine got a man in the air. He misses the shot. Terwilliger catches him on the way back down. And I think Terwilliger got him on the forearm, altered the shot enough. Terwilliger's third personal. Of course, Lincoln Dilgis in foul trouble much of the night with 4. And Elwine hits the first of 2 free throws, his first attempt since the first period. but he's 5 for 5. Carter Porish, James Schultz out, Anderson Porish, Miles Elwine in. And the Tigers now have their starting 5 all on the floor. And the second one short, but the rebound is tipped right back to Elwine, and the Tigers get to choose some more clock here in this fourth quarter of play. 2 minutes in, 6 to go. Austin against Juergens up top. Over to the left side. Chase down low, Elwine, and he pushes off on Aharts. And the official's right there to call it. That's an offensive foul on Blake Elwine. Blake asking for clarification. I will say this. When Blake didn't play the first regular season meeting between these two teams, I actually met him that night, had a good conversation. Very good young man, very mild-mannered. And when he asks for, when he has an official's conversation, it's fairly soft-spoken. Here's Corday Austin for 3. No good. Long pass up ahead is Chase with the rebound and the assist. And Anderson Porish gets his second transition basket of the night. 54-31. And here comes Deal in traffic, and like he got bumped around 2 or 3 times, but the third time draws the whistle, and Mason Juergens will be the guilty party here. Juergens picks up a 4th personal. Jaron Deal to the free throw line. So Jaron gets a couple of opportunities from Freebie Town, and the first one is up and good. That's point number 6 for Deal. Blake Elwine will check out. 5:13 to play. Tim Bugenhagen may be able to put a lot of people on his bench in here before long. Next one for JD is off the front of the rim. No good. Davis Chase rebounds for the Tigers. Porish up the floor. He gets under the basket, kicks out. Now Miles Elwine on a tipped pass. Tries a 3. 2 bounces off the rim. No good. Chase up high for the offensive putback. That won't go. Terwilliger wins that battle. And Cooper with the rebound. Here the Governors underneath, but the pass is taken away by Juergens. Tigers in transition. Chase Schuchart back in for Elwine. Gives it back to Chase, and the Tigers will choose some clock again. 4:35 counting down here in the fourth. Obviously the Tigers in the driver's seat. Governor's season could very well be 4.5 minutes away from coming to an end. Here's a foul underneath. It'll go to Deal as the Tigers fed it in to Miles Elwine. There is something in the water here in Huron with the guys who grow like weeds, or did when they were growing up. Miles Elwine, the sophomore, 6'5". Of course, Blake Elwine, 6'10". Anderson Porish, 6'5". Carter Porish, a big-bodied 6'5". And then you got Davis Chase at 6'8". Underneath the basket. And every one of them a good athlete. Here's Miles at the free throw line. First free throw good off of the second personal for Jaron Deal. Blake Elwine comes back in, maybe for one more time. Huron seniors playing their final home game. Carter Porish and Anderson Porish are out. Miles Elwine's second free throw is good. Tigers lead by 24, 56-32. Hearts across the timeline for the Governors coming towards us. Logan Whitty on the floor. He's got the basketball now. Now hands off. On the range of motion for Corday Austin. Between the legs, backing in against Schuchart. Again, traffic, maybe some contact. Austin misses, but gets his own rebound. Another chance for the Govs. Austin back inside. Whitty fouled by a new player on the court. It is very warm in here, and of course, we're way up high in the rafters of the Huron Arena, where the heat does rise up. But yet Nolan Staley, who checked into the ball game, and speaking of big guys, tall guys, he got a 6'4" senior coming in off the bench. He's got his first personal foul. Jaron Deal at the free throw line has the first of 2 down. Lincoln Dill just checking out, possibly for the last time. Sincere Wilson in. Governors will have 5, make it 4 seniors involved in their final games. Jaron Deal hits the second free throw. Blake Elwine looking for a one-handed jam, but he lost it going up. It's kept alive by Juergens underneath. He might take a push from behind by, it is Deal. Jaron's third, and they'll call this one on the floor. Third foul for the Governors. Blake Elwine has a two-handed jam, but he couldn't get one down with one hand this time. He'll inbound. He finds Schuchart. Schuchart up and in for two. A well-run inbound play. There the Tigers are up 58-34. Logan Whitty into the lane. Kicks it back. Deal to Ahart's deep three. Oh, he hit a bunch of those a week ago in Sioux Falls Roosevelt, but this time too quick of a fire. And that is short and out of bounds. And the Governors will shuffle people in. Logan Whitty out. Jaden Brandt, the 5'10 senior, will check in. Senior role player. The underclassmen are coming out. Deal and Ahart's along with Whitty. All four Pierce seniors are in. Blake Elwine will check out for his final time. And a well-deserved standing O for big number 30. Who will head off to play at South Dakota State next year. 3.5 minutes to play, fourth quarter, 58-34. Tigers with the lead and the basketball. They send in Ty Kleinsasser, a 5'11 junior. Here's Juergens to Nolan Staley. Miles Elwine still in there. They have another new player on. We'll let you know who that. Well, Schuchart's still in there, actually. Here's Elwine stopping and popping from the free throw line. He makes that. Coach Bud will get a timeout and maybe some other new players in when we come back. 60-34. Huron on their way to the state tournament. They just have 3 minutes of business to take care of after this 60-second timeout. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason.
If new home construction or a major renovation project is on the top of your list for 2026, then let's kickstart your plans with an interest rate as low as 3.99%. A construction loan at Dakota Land Federal Credit Union is tough to beat and definitely something you can build on. Visit DakotaLandFCU.com for details or stop by a friendly and convenient branch location today. Dakota Land, federally insured by NCUA.
Each day brings the opportunity to make a difference. To follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
On the roster, plus Cooper Terwilliger, at least for a while. Jaden Brandt among them. He has it with Lincoln Dilgis out there. Dilgis wants three, and he hits the shot from the top of the key. Lincoln Dilgis has had a rough night having to defend guys like Blake Elwine, and he's been in foul trouble, but that is his first field goal. Now looking for a steal. He tipped a pass from Bryson North, who is a 6-foot junior. North picks it back up, but then travels with it. And again, the Tigers will continue to roll people in and out. Schuchart and Staley come out. Neil Salmon, a 6'4 freshman, comes in. Got number 12, Joshua Gilbert, a 5'7 freshman on as well. 60-37. They're just going to get free rein to fire away. Another one, top of the key, but this one deep off the back of the rim. No good. And the rebound is down to Ty Kleinsasser. Here's a three left side for number 42, Neil Salmon. It will not go as Dilgis will rebound. Sincere Wilson, Cooper Terwilliger. High post, pass tip, but it gets back to Austin. Corday Austin spins, drives, left side layup, no good. And a good job by Reagan Dirksen, a 6'5 junior, to alter that shot and pull a rebound down. Tigers up ahead. Josh Gilbert, right corner, swinging around. Inside looking for Dirksen, but he'll keep it alive. Minute 40 to go. Here on the 3 seed in the bracket. They'll be the 3 seed in the tournament. They do not reseed for the state double A's. Girls or boys. 7 on the shot clock. Kleinsasser trying to back in. He'll shoot over the top of Brandt and Terwilliger. Terwilliger is reaching to try to get it knocked away, and he ends up getting him on the hand. And Ty Kleinsasser will get free throw opportunities here. Cooper Terwilliger's 4th personal foul. And the role players with opportunities here, but a miss of the first of 2 for Kleinsasser. Sincere Wilson, Cooper Terwilliger will check out. Corday Austin and Lincoln Dilgis will come out for the final time. These guys have been fun to watch. The Governors have not had a great record this year, but tell you what, they have been a lot of fun to watch. Second free throw, no good. The rebound is run down. And I was waiting for it. The Governor's student body chanting, "Let's play football." Huron's going to get this one on the basketball court. But the Governors still have that semifinal victory here in Huron from a few months ago. Spencer Olivier on the floor, missing a shot. And it's a 3 here for Ty Kleinsasser on the other end. Gotta love it when the role players can get in the action. Here's Olivier kicking out. Jaden Brandt got tripped up. Oh, the drive on the left side. He'll come up short. I was hoping Jaden could get one down. 40 seconds to go. Now another 3 for the role players. And that is Neil Salmon. 66-37. 30 seconds to play. Dagger Gardner in for Pierre. On the move here is a great shot up and in for Tony Clayman, the 5'6" freshman. He's fouled in the act of shooting with 22 seconds to play. A foul on Bryson North. If I'm not mistaken, Bryson North, probably the best bowler on this Huron team. I think he's a member of the ESD traveling bowling team for the Huron Tigers. Something I know a little bit about. Tony Clayman, 3-point play successful. 15 seconds to go, 66-40. The Tigers will be on to the state tournament, and they will play the winner of the O'Gorman-Washington game. That game is already done. It'll be Huron and O'Gorman in the final game of the state AA, which will be in 2 weekends out in Rapid City. The AAs are going to be in the Ice Arena. The Class A state tournament will be in the Big Monument Arena. For anybody who might be heading out there, got a drive and a shot and a foul called against the Governors. Theron Forster, 5'6" freshman, getting a piece of Joshua Gilbert, who stands at the free throw line. And he gets a free throw to go. 4 seconds to play in this one. 67-40, the next one for Gilbert. Might have been strong off the square, but it's good. Take one shot. Nope, the Governors won't, and that'll do it. Congratulations to the Huron Tigers. These two teams played a pretty competitive ball game without Blake Elwine a month ago, but tonight, Blake Elwine makes a big difference, and the Tigers roll. In the end, a tight game after 1, but Huron opened it up in the second period. And they win it going away by a 28-point count, 68-40. Your final score. The Governor's season comes to an end at 6-15. The Tigers will keep on for 3 more games, and they will take a 17-4 record into the state AA boys basketball tournament. That's your final score, 68-40. Your Gales Gas Service scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. And we've got 3 full minutes to talk about it. Our postgame coming up as after that 3-minute break, your Family Dental postgame. When we return, Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. Give you the full recap. I'd have a chat with Coach Larry Aker if he climbs to the treehouse here at the arena. If not, we'll go through the brackets and take a look and prognosticate and give you all the scores and the updates of what we will still have coming up in high school sports in this winter sports season on DRG Media Group stations. 68-40, final score. Tigers defeat the Governors on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Dr. Ryan and his team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg would like to thank their wonderful patients for allowing us to treat their whole family, from infants to elders and everyone in between, including routine dental care, same-day crowns and bridges, implants, and many more procedures. We are excited that soon we'll be able to offer IV sedation. We are excited for what the future will bring. Call 224-7774 to schedule an appointment today. Again, thank you to all our wonderful patients.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at capitalcityfordtoyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
It's time to stop making excuses. The peace of mind you get after a colonoscopy is worth it. It's the best way to prevent and detect one of the deadliest cancers. In fact, your doctor can remove precancerous polyps during the procedure if necessary. That's right, before it even turns to cancer. No excuses. Get a colonoscopy at 45 and follow up every 10 years or as recommended by your doctor. Find a location or schedule now at avera.org/colon.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
We're back at the Huron Arena as the Tigers defeat the Governors tonight, 68-40. Governors had some fun in that first period. They hit 5 threes, and if Pierre was going to be able to keep in arm's reach of the high-powered Huron Tigers, they were going to have to hit their shots, especially those from outside the arc, and they hit 5 in the first quarter. And they trailed 16-15. And we did go back and forth a little bit. In fact, had 5 lead changes, one into the second period. But Huron, after Caden Ahart's hit a three-pointer to give the Governors a 17-16 lead an early lead in that second period. The Tigers started rolling. The Governors started struggling, and that defense just got a little bit better by the Tigers. And a couple of the three-pointers in the first quarter, I remember, came from Huron defenders on passes to the outside going, as they tried to go for steals. That over pursuit left the Govs open a couple of times. In fact, both three-pointers that Corday Austin made in this game, he had an open look because there was over pursuit by a long-arm defender. I think the Tigers just decided they didn't need to do that anymore the rest of the game, and those long-arm defenders were obviously defending the perimeter a little bit better, and that was a big key to success from Coach Jim Bugnhagen in our pregame conversation. Defend the perimeter, certainly got a rebound. Huron's going to win that battle quite handily as well when we look at the stats here in the recap, but obviously the Tigers got their scoring going both from inside and from outside. The Governors just struggled to get shots up, and they certainly got struggled to get them down. They certainly, the Governors played hard all night. And just like the girls who were outmatched at O'Gorman last night, but they never quit. They were hustling the entire game, and I think you can certainly say that about the Governor boys here tonight, and played as physical as they could, even throughout the rest of that fourth period when this game was no longer in doubt. But again, some great things. From game 1 to game 21 in the Governor's season, this team improved by quite a margin. But, the underdogs improve, but the good teams also improve along the way. And the Tigers have a good team going to the state tournament. Now, over the years in my history, by the way, welcome to your Family Dental postgame. Family Dental with offices in Pierre and in Gettysburg. I grew up in the Pierre system, and I will readily admit that the team I loved to root against the most were the Huron Tigers back then. But, and some people still feel that way. I think when you take away the district tournaments, like we talked with Coach Bud before this game, without the district tournaments, it's a little bit different. You're only playing each team once a year until you get to the Sodak 16. If you're the Pierre Governors, and it's just not the same rivalry. My feelings toward Huron have changed over the years, and to me, this is an easy team to root for in the state tournament. I mean, you kind of, to me, as a Pierre Governor fan, I'm still going to root ESD first in most cases. I still, I've made a lot of friends along the way doing what I do with head coaches and athletic directors in the Metro Conference, certainly out west as well. You just kind of root for everybody to stay healthy and really put good games up. And for me, the old fuddy-duddy that I've become, I want everybody to just behave themselves and be good sports in wins or losses. And that's players, that's coaches, that's fans alike. That's kind of how I've grown up. And even though the kid in me still wants my team to win and get all the calls all the time, but obviously that's not the case. But to me, Huron and the Blake Elwines of the world, a good and an easy bunch to root for, in my opinion. I will be rooting for them when they go to the state tournament because they're an ESD team, and that's where loyalties growing up in the ESD still lie for many of us. They were the better team tonight, no doubt about that. 68-40. They get the victory. But as fun as this game started, and the Governors hitting threes, you had a 16-15 Huron lead at the end of one. Early on, second quarter, Governors again did get a lead, but Huron took it back, and they took it for good. And they rolled up 19 points in the second quarter that held the Governors to just 7. And they led Huron at halftime 35-22. And then a 13-6 advantage to the Tigers in the third period, added to a 20-point advantage. It was 48-28 going to the fourth. And, the final margin is 28. Huron never did get to the 30-point mercy timing rule. But they do outscore the Governors 20-12. And even the guys off the bench, the role players got in, knocked a couple of threes down, contributed to the scoring output for the Tigers, even though the Governors in just 2 quarters of play out of 4 scored double figures, first and fourth quarter. But Pierre played well in the fourth quarter, but Huron, even then, still a little bit better in this one. Your final score, 68-40. In this one, the Tigers, the official stats, they've got Huron at 25 of 48. I have them at 25 of 45. 4 of 15 from outside the arc, and they are a very respectable 14 of 17 from the free throw line. Huron gets a lot of people in the scoring column. In fact, 3, 5, 7, 10, 11 players for Huron score in this game. The SDSU commit, the standout Blake Elwine, will lead with 21 points in this game. Inside the arc, he shoots 8 out of 9. He missed 1 3-pointer, but he was also 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 21 for Blake Elwine. Next in line, also in double figures, is Anderson Porish with 10 points. And then it is Mason Juergens who hit a couple of threes, checking in with 8. Miles Elwine, 6 points. And Miles Elwine with 6 points. And then Davis Chase held to 5 tonight. That after scoring 27 without Blake Elwine in the first game against the Governors this season. 4 points for Carter Porish, who was strong off the bench. Chase Schuchart with 4 points. 3-pointers down in garbage time for Neil Salmon. Ty Kleinsasser hit a 3. 2 points for James Schultz Jr. 2 free throws for Josh Gilbert off the bench as well. Very good team effort. The Tigers was 68 on the board. As for the Governors, hitting 8 of 23 in the first half, 5 of 19 after halftime. They will finish 13 of 42 on my stat sheet, actually 13 of 43 on theirs, 7 of 16 from long range. It was a lot of fun. When the Governors are hitting threes, they can definitely be a tough team to beat. That was the way it started, but 4 threes, make it 5 threes in the first period, 1 in the second, and 1 from Lincoln Dilgis in the fourth quarter. 7 of 16 from long range. Pierre gets to the free throw line and fires 12 times. They hit on 7. Cooper Terwilliger played about as physical of a game as he could tonight, and that was obviously going to be needed. He leads the Governors, the only one in double figures, with 10 points. I haven't battled this all night long. All of a sudden, it's popping up. Caden Aharts with 3 threes in the game, all early, in the first quarter and early second. He'll finish with 9 points. Jaron Deal with 8. Corday Austin, who has been a scoring threat for the Governors all season long, in my opinion, was held off for the all-conference team. I'm kind of sorry to see that, but Corday had a fine season. But his final game, he scores 7 points, and the Governors will get 3 points from Lincoln Dilgis, who was troubled by fouls tonight, and they got a late 3-point play from freshman guard Tony Clayman, who scored 3 in this game. 68-40, your final score. And the official stats in the rebounding game, the Tigers win that battle 33-19. On the offensive end, 12-7. Leading rebounder is Blake Elwine with 9. Anderson Porish with 6. Davis Chase with 5. And Carter Porish with 5 on the official stats. The Governors are led by Cooper Terwilliger with a 10 spot. Caden Aharts with 9. Jaron Deal 8. Corday Austin with 7 boards as well. Assists, that goes to the Tigers 14-5 officially. I had that at 13-7 on my stat sheet, but the assist leader in this one is Blake Elwine. This kid is an all-around player. Points, rebounds, assists. Jaron Deal had 6 assists for game-high honors out of the 9. Dished out by the Governors. Just 1 Governor steal, that from Caden Aharts. 5 steals from the Tigers, 2 by Elwine. Again, well-rounded. Mason Juergens had a couple as well, as the Tigers win this one 68-40. Let's take another 3-minute timeout. We'll come back and talk more about this one. It's your Family Dental postgame. Tiger fans are celebrating. Governor fans are down there chit-chatting on the floor as well, as Pierce season's come to an end, but the Tigers move on to the state AA. We still have a look at the AA tournament coming up and more. Not to mention our big plays of the game and your player of the game still to be announced when we come back with more of our Family Dental postgame. This is Pierre Governor postseason basketball.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
This winter, Beck Motor Company is your go-to Chevy dealer for automotive needs. From the tough, rugged Chevy Silverado to a versatile Equinox, we've got the perfect ride for every season. Need service? Our expert team is here to keep you cruising through winter with confidence. Beck Motor Company, your trusted local Chevy dealer, proudly serving you with top-notch vehicles, service, and customer care. Stop by today and drive away with a deal you'll love. www.beck-motors.com, 605-224-5912.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram. Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief. There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play. Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art three-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Family Dental postgame continues as the Tigers move on to the state tournament. They'll take on the O'Gorman Knights. All 8 Sodak 16 games are complete now in Class AA, and the tournament field will be set. Huron beating Pierce 68-40. Harrisburg over Yankton earlier today, 69-59. Brandon Valley, the 7 seed, over number 10 Jefferson, 72-58. Number 2 seed Sioux Falls Roosevelt. No trouble with Rapid City Central today, 67-38. The one road team to win today is T Area. They went out to Spearfish, beat the Spartans 66-56. O'Gorman defeating Sioux Falls Washington 74-48. And number 1 Sioux Falls Lincoln on top of Sturgis 88-44. Watertown has a 14-point lead in the final minute of regulation as they lead Mitchell 57-43. So as obviously Watertown should win that game. The first round matchups, or the quarterfinal matchups, if you will, in the state AA. We'll have Sioux Falls Lincoln against T Area, followed by Harrisburg against Watertown. Then the night bracket, number 2 Sioux Falls Roosevelt against 7 Brandon Valley. And these Huron Tigers should play the final game of the first session of the state AA against the number 6 seed O'Gorman Knights, who will be finishing off Coach Derek Roby's swan song as he is set to retire at the end of the season. Meanwhile, Tim Buttonhagen and guys have been around a long, long time continue to plug away. Bud's going back to the state tournament with these Tigers, 68-40. Tigers win it. They didn't do it without big plays in the game. Your big plays are brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. And the big plays in this one, I think it just had to be the changes in defense or the better play on defense of the Huron Tigers. It's always going to be tough to shoot over the top of all of these long-armed Huron Tigers. That was the case in the first meeting between these two teams this season. That was the case again in this one. And the Governors, shots that they tried inside the arc on my stat sheet, oddly enough, inside the arc, they were 7 of 16 outside, so that puts them at 6 of 27 inside the arc. They're 13 of 43 overall. They only hit 6 field goals inside the three-point line, and that means that defense is just tough to score on. And those, and because of that, Governors are trying to make big plays, and they were trying to make right-on-the-money highlight plays with a bunch of three-pointers early on, but the defense is big keys for the Huron Tigers in this one. Big plays of the game sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. We'll hear from Hermanson's, and we'll come back after a final break in this one. We'll also hear from Cowboy Country Stores and announce our Cowboy Country Stores player of the game. We'll still look at the rest of the brackets and what's going on for Central South Dakota teams, because there is some other of that action still happening today. And we'll talk more as we finish off our Family Dental postgame. But your player of the game is next after this timeout in our Family Dental postgame. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art three-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fill up your tank and your stomach. Fresh baked pastries, coffees, regular and breakfast pizzas, Camp's chicken, and more. Feed the family while on the go. Then treat yourself to soft serve ice cream in cones and dishes. Convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country Stores, Euclid Avenue and Harrison Avenue in Pierre and in Fort Pierre.
Family Dental postgame continues as the Tigers head on to the state AA basketball tournament. The Governors season comes to an end at 6-15. You just heard from Cowboy Country Stores of Pierre and Fort Pierre. It's time to name our Cowboy Country Stores player of the game. And in this final game, I'll stick with the Governors in this one, but you certainly got to pack the back of Blake Elwine. Our first chance to see this young man play this season. We didn't get to see him play last year either, at least not in person, as he was out most of the season with that knee injury. But Blake Elwine shoots the ball extremely well tonight. He finishes with a game-high 21 points, and he was the leader in rebounding and assisting for the Tigers. He gets steals. He literally does it all. He's a very athletic, even though still kind of skinny, 6'10". Hopefully he's able to put some meat on his bones when he gets to D1 SDSU next season. We certainly applaud him for his efforts. And again, like I said, I met him last time about a month ago, and I was really impressed with him just in a face-to-face conversation. Very, very well-mannered guy. He broke the team school record for total points this season, even if he did miss much of his junior year, if I remember right. I may be wrong on that, but I don't think we saw Blake Elwine play last season either. But at any rate, the previous record holder for all-time scoring in Huron High School was held by his dad, Jay Elwine, who played back in the 80s, and great player, obviously, but Blake Elwine, good things ahead for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Anderson Porish did good things. He ran the transition well today, but this is a total team effort. Huron, as we mentioned, had 11 players score in this one. and Elwine and Porish were the two leaders in double figures. We're staying with the home team in this one for the final game, and we kind of look at the seniors and what they were able to do. Again, Cooper Terwilliger, the junior, in the middle. He'll be back next year. Obviously, the Governors need him. Of course, Terwilliger's got a college football career to plan at some point as well. But he finishes with a game-high 10. Caden Aharts, he'll be back, and good to see him shooting threes well down the stretch. He hit 3 of them today. 9 points. Jaron Deal going to definitely be needed next year as well. 8 points. You got guys like Logan Whitty coming back, and all of these young guards and some good players off the bench. But the Governors are going to have to still get better if they want to compete in these AA ranks and try to get a home game ultimately in the SODAC 16, because obviously home court advantage means something when you have one game to go before the state tournament. So let's take a look at these seniors. Lincoln Dill just had a tough day. 3 points, got a fourth quarter 3 ball. Good to see him score in that one. But foul trouble plagued his day all day long. Had Corday Austin with just 7 points today, a couple of threes in the first period. Sincere Wilson didn't get a lot of time on the court today, but has been a pretty good player. He's showed some flashes earlier this year, and I know I gave Sincere a player of the game t-shirt, I think, for the game at T area when he came in. He had a couple of games where he just seemed like he had some instant offense and some scoring flurries, so it's been fun to watch Sincere play today. But you know what? You've got a senior role player on this team for the Governors who the role players are the ones who push the starters, and you can't do anything in the way of, you can't be successful as a starting lineup if you don't have the good presence from the role players in practice. And the guy that's done that his entire basketball career has never really gotten the minutes, and that's Jaden Brandt to me. The 5'10 senior got in tonight, did get a chance to make a layup, became short, shot was altered a little bit, gave a good effort. The guy knows basketball. He's the son of a basketball coach, assistant coach Kelly Brandt, but just not the player that the Governors relied upon in key situations. Obviously, just had sparing minutes throughout most of the season, but still just a great kid, a great competitor on the practice court, and he's going to be our player of the game in this one. Even though he didn't score, I don't think he scored maybe one varsity basket all season long, but still one of my favorite guys on this team. Jaden Brandt, today's player of the game. Going to get him a t-shirt in the name of Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Governor season, though, comes to an end, and the winter sports season for Pierre Governor High School sports comes to an end. They do still have club hockey. The Owyhee Capitals, Lady Capitals are still playing in the state tournament in Mitchell and hopefully doing quite well. I know they had a first-round victory, but I take that back. Yeah, they're playing in Mitchell. Okay, the boys state hockey tournament will be in Sioux Falls next weekend. The Capitals will be a 3 seed and have a matchup with, or are they the 6? They play Yankton in the first round. We certainly hope for the best for the Owyhee Capitals. That's what's still going on in the winter sports season, even though not school affiliated. You look ahead to the spring sports season. You got track and field. It'll be girls golf and boys tennis as far as Governor sports concerned, and of course it'll be girls softball, and we will have home games coverage of Pierre softball. Home games from Riggsfield. Look for our first coverage on River 92.7 for softball to come up somewhere in very late March or early April. I'm thinking maybe like April 1st was going to be our first game, but the calendar and the schedule escapes me right now. But the winter sports season for us, covering Pierre Governor sports, has come to an end with this loss for the Pierre Governors tonight. We've given you the AA scores. Let's take a look at the other games going on. There were 8 games still happening in Class B that got weathered out from last night. Region games, region semifinals earlier today in Huron. In this arena, DeSmet beat DuBrook 53-51. Castlewood beat Wessington Springs 55-53. You talk about a loaded Region 2B, and a couple of great ball games today, but DeSmet and Castlewood move on. Sioux Falls Lutheran beat Bridgewater Emory today. Lyman has a victory. As heard on KPLO this afternoon, they beat Corsica Stickney 61-39, and it looks like Lower Brule is going to get a win as well. They're well out in front of Andy Central Dakota Christian 63-39. So the Lower Brule Sioux likely to move on. They still have about 10 minutes of ball left in that one. Sanborn Central Woonsocket has defeated Ethan in overtime, 51-47. Freeman leads Parkston in a game featuring two teams with 5 losses combined on the year. Freeman has a 10-point lead in the second half of the third quarter. Viborg Hurley, the top-ranked team in Class B, if I'm not mistaken. They're the number 1 overall seed. They lead Centerville by 10 halfway through the third quarter as well. Last night, Sully Buttes got a victory. They are into the Sodak 16, and so is White River. Dupree from Central South Dakota in the Sodak 16 with a victory, and Timber Lake is in the Sodak 16. Gettysburg came up 2 points short to Ipswich, but we do have some Central South Dakota interest. We know we'll be covering Sully Buttes. We know we'll be covering Lyman as well. And we'll be covering the Stanley County Buffaloes, who are in the Class A state or Sodak 16 tournament. Stanley County will be playing the Flandreau Flyers. The question is where. Stanley County will be the 6th seed and Flandreau the 11th seed. So that game should be somewhere in Central South Dakota, maybe Chamberlain. My feeling, I was talking with Scott DeBoer tonight, that it could be here in Huron. But I think to cater to the higher seed, I've got a feeling Stanley County might play in Miller. That would be a good location for Stanley County and Flandreau. Once the Class B games are done, they'll set up some double headers and things like that. They'll set all those venues. We'll probably know by tomorrow where our Central South Dakota teams will be playing. But we'll follow Stanley County, Lyman, Sully Buttes, of course. And we probably will have a game yet on River 92.7 covering one of those teams here on Tuesday night. So something to look forward to there as well. Real quick, one more time, covering the big play of the game, or the player of the game, Jaden Brandt, to the Pierre Governors senior role player tonight, being honored with a player of the game t-shirt from Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. That'll pretty much do it for our coverage of the Governors here this evening and this winter sports season, as mentioned. For those who will be hitting the road, another reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who tells us to slow down and drive for conditions. Don't veer for deer, and buckle up too. It starts with you. You've got some place to be. Maybe you'll be heading off to a state basketball tournament as well. Speaking of Lyman, we will be covering the Lyman Raider girls as the top overall seed in the Class B state tournament in Brookings next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on 94.5 KPLO. We wish them the best of luck. This game has been brought to you by this station, River 92.7, KGFXM out of Pierre, South Dakota. Our advertisers and these member schools of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without written permission from the SDHSAA. Our thanks to William Wilson and Cortana Mancuso running our show in studio with audio production, and for Caleb Brozick for a live ticket, as always, running camera. And you can rewatch this game if you'd like on drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, and also on the GoGovs Live link through YouTube. But congrats to the Huron Tigers. Good luck to the Tigers in the state AA tournament, as your final score in this one has Huron on top, defeating the old 3AA rival Pierre Governors 68-40. I'm Brian Oakland. Thanks for listening all season long. We'll hope to have you with Governor softball in the spring. For now, you've been listening to coverage of the Pierre Governors. Your official voice of the Govs is River 92.7 in the stations of DRG Media Group and drgnews.com. Good evening, everybody.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Sports on the official home of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and DRG Media Group. Governor Sports is brought to you by your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors, Bank West, Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, Superior Concrete, Live Ticket, Overhead Door, New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedics, Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, Kruger Contracting, Century Business Products, and the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency of American Family Insurance. Governor Sports is also sponsored in part by Dakota Mart, TMA, First Dakota National Bank, May Adam Law Office, Edward Jones, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, Wegner Auto, Ram Tire, and by Xander Auto Parts, American Bank and Trust, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, Hawaii Federal Credit Union, the Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center, Tokyo Hibachi and Sushi, Bauman Lumber, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union. And coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is also brought to you by these special in-game sponsors. Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Brown's Financial Services, Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial, Hermanson Endodontics, Family Dental, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gale's Gas Service of Pierre. Thanks for listening to Pierre Governors Sports on the official home of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.